Hello folks, in this video I will show you a couple of overall work from home organizations that are recruiting right now for heaps of occupations for October 2020. One of them is 10up.com. 10up obviously is a finely created site and devices creation organization. And they make a wide range of stuff, so in the event that you're searching for things like particularly like programming improvement, or that's what things like assuming that you go to their vocations, you'll find a ton of work from home positions accessible for them right now that include those kinds of things. So assuming you look down a tad, you'll see they have a great advantages bundle: well-being, dental, and disaster protection, took care of time and occasions, gear, remittance, adaptable plan for getting work done, opportunity to telecommute. Obviously you get 401k with organization, matching, proficient, advancement, step in a wide range of stuff. So they have 12 perhaps somewhat more positions accessible right now. A ton of these are like front-end engineer, JavaScript engineer, web engineer, things like that, Redux creator. So again, like programming advancement and things like that are what you will generally see as here. So assuming you go to say like web engineer, you can see liabilities, you can see the sorts of abilities you'll need and what you'll require X involvement in, like PHP, JavaScript, WordPress, HTML, and CSS. For this specific one, a software engineering certificate would be ideal to have, yet they don't be guaranteed to require that, and afterward you can apply by tapping the button underneath for any of these positions. Another organization that is recruiting a ton at the present time and allows you to work from a distance from essentially any place on the planet is Hybrid, is an organization that interfaces organizations with top ability and works on that ability, so they sort of match make occupations, and that's what things like. So to go to crossover.com, all you must do is go to accessible positions, not too far off at the highest point of the page close to tributes, and that will take you to where you can find what's accessible. And everything's truly pleasant about this is they say to you your hours, that it's remote or not, and the compensation, you'll get compensated for every single one of these positions before you even snap on it. So you can sort of perceive how much do I want to make, what is it that I assume I believe that should do, how long is it, and do I get to telecommute. Everything that stuff is replied in the sea of each work. So you can see like a portion of these compensation: $30,000 per year, $15 an hour, 40 hours per week. You look down some more, you'll see nearly $30 an hour. You realize you see some that are $50 an hour, $100 an hour. Occasionally you'll see one that pays that well, $200 an hour for SVP of money. So you see a variety of kinds of occupations for many degrees of involvement and training. So you have like a manual analyzer that is a greater amount of like a passage level work, you'll get compensated $10 an hour for that. You have a programmer, you get compensated $15 an hour for that. So loads of programming related positions, assuming you are somebody who is into say programming advancement. Have things like bookkeeping, bunches of money type occupations, accessible tasks. You have a couple of things that are extremely lucrative, yet you'll require a ton of involvement obviously. And afterward deals, places, obviously a portion of these could presumably get, assuming that you have a smidgen of involvement and perhaps some kind of degree. So relies upon what you're genuinely attempting to go for. Yet those are a couple of the principal classifications you'll see as here, assuming that you take again at say a programmer. Similarly, as an illustration, this is what one of their request for employment pages appears as though. You'll see a portion of the fundamental work subtleties there on the upper right of the page, and afterward the thing you'll do, what you will not be doing, scratch liabilities, competitor necessity. And afterward they'll try and have a video about the gig some of the time for you to watch on YouTube, so you can apply now by tapping the blue button as a rule beneath the YouTube video at the lower part of the page. Next you have one secret phrase, one secret key. As an organization you might have known about, they really have some expertise in assisting you with dealing with every one of your passwords, so it's clearly hard to recollect each of the passwords for every one of the various records you have. In addition, to keep it secure, you realize a ton of times you're transforming them and stuff on the off chance that something gets compromised, or then again assuming somebody hacks one of the organizations you have a record with. So one secret key sort of manages all that. They assist you with dealing with your passwords better. You essentially sign into one secret word, and afterward they deal with the remainder of it for you for your record. So to work here you can look down to the base, and they will have some work from home positions in various areas of the planet accessible. It'll normally say we're employing here right at the base right of the page, so in the event that it says we're employing, certainly look at that. You'll see more about the organization here, and afterward you can click view open positions, so that will take you here to a jobs.lever.co page where it says one secret word. So you have us in Canada, two of their essential places that they enlist. So you have like business tasks, you have a ton of client care occupations, you have significantly more client care occupations here too. You have some website composition related positions there resemble 3 accessible, their Android designer, you realize sender designing, things like that. So you have a variety of sorts of occupations accessible that let you do things like even satisfied composition On the off chance that you're into promoting, you have a deals foundation, they have a few positions for that. Deals chief positions, there's a ton of those. Record director, and afterward a couple for like security. And you can utilize, you might in fact apply to work at the organization yet don't see the right position yet. You can apply at the base where it says future open. So to show you a model, here's one that is a client achievement supervisor. And afterward they'll tell you obviously thing they're searching for, what you can expect in the primary month. And afterward they'll let you know sort of in what stages will resemble as you start your most memorable year of work with them. So that is somewhat decent. You can go after the position on any of these pages by tapping blue button at the base. Another is auth0. Auth0.com is the site, and they are a confirmation and authorization. They're a verification and approval for web versatile and heritage applications organization. And when you go to the lower part of auth0.com, generally when you click on their professions, they'll generally have a couple of things open right now. They have many. And when you look down a tad, you can pick an area assuming that you need. Here you see various ones accessible. All you got to do is go to far off here. Afterward pick the nation you're in, so that will limit your outcomes. They have like a far off classification. As you can see here, the subsequent class is remote, and afterward you simply click on anything that nation you're in and you're there all around the world. So you can likewise sort it by classification. They have a variety of classifications here. The majority of the positions accessible right currently are in deals advertising. You see a pack in client service, and afterward you see a pack in designing. So those are obviously a portion of the run-of-the-mill ones where you telecommute at any rate. So I'm about to tap on North America in light of the fact that clearly that is where I and it can help me sort of perused a ton of these. Better yet, you see loads of work from home positions in North America alone and obviously all around the world. So like to do say a client achievement. You could do like a specialized record administrator, for example, or you could do arrangements engineer. Then you have a ton of different regions too. Yet to show you an illustration of what a request for employment page resembles, you have obligations, prerequisites, wanted. Typically wanted implies essentially favored yet not really needed, and afterward favored areas. This one being in North America, they favor specific expresses that you live in, and afterward you can apply now by tapping the button on the right side. And to wrap things up, you have degree.com. They're employing a ton this moment. They are a deep-rooted learning stage, and when you go to degree.com again as expected, look down to the base or under organization where it says vocations. It'll be right under the about segment, and afterward you can go to their advantages. Not too far off you can see a portion of the advantages. They have adaptable booking, a learning step, and they offer representatives $1,200 per year to procure anything they need in limitless dollars, assuming it is work related. So they believe you should get more brilliant. And afterward parental leave, took care of time, kid care, repayment part-time with benefits. So assuming you work part-time, you get a ton of similar advantages as full-time. Afterward, they have a lot of positions here, so you can see that a ton of them are in client experience, deals, back-end and front-end advancement type stuff, and afterward a couple of others to a great extent. So if you somehow manage to tap on any these, like express a back-end designer similarly as an arbitrary model, it will take you to their lever.co page where they likewise post occupations. So if you have any desire to turn upward degreed by going to jobs.lever.com, you can do that too, and afterward obviously they'll let you know liabilities, prerequisites, and all that stuff you require to know. So those are a couple of the top organizations that are recruiting right currently, all beautiful, exceptionally evaluated too. However, I likewise suggest you get your work done prior to applying. First, you can go to say Glassdoor. You can view at a 814 Express Hybrid as an illustration survey. And as you can see, they have a 3.8 out of 5-star rating, which is strong. Afterward, you can likewise check Indeed.com. Representatives can peruse, can leave audits of organizations they've worked for here too. So for example, at Indeed.com, you'll find degreed as an illustration 3.2 out of 5 stars out of 5 surveys up to this point, and you can peruse those simply by tapping on audits. Not too far off, you can really look at compensations on the 2 pages too. So ideally this was useful. Those are a portion of the top organizations employing that a ton right now for telecommute occupations, and ideally you can find what you're searching for, and I'll see you in the following video.